This is Rasha country, where elderly pensioners often fight over expired food in dumpsters, large families are left to rot away in crumbling barracks, and many men tragically go off to die at the front just to pay off their significant debts.
I don't have that kind of money. You know, I took out a loan and I have to pay it back, so we have to put other things aside.
And this is also Russia. Palaces, elite escorts costing as much as a Mercedes, 16 million ruble fees for jesters, luxury multiplied by luxury.
It seems that absolutely no one has said a single word about this particular matter anywhere at all. Complete silence, really, utterly indeed.
In Russia, the caste system is even stricter than in India. There are only two categories here: the Kremlin's demigods and everyone else the serfs.
Loans for, I was dealing with money for a car. I crashed the car, so I owed money. I went and signed a contract.
There's a very interesting trend in Russia. The worse the economy gets, the more miserable the serfs live, the more expensive it is to maintain the Putin loyalists. If you're living in filth, without heating or a salary, that means the budget spending on Putin has definitely gone up.
Can I ask you a question? There's one thing I'm curious about. Did you go to vote on the 18th of March? If it's not a secret, who did you vote for?
For Putin. We don't have any Putin people.
I see clearly.
That's right, I see. No, I've never encountered that particular situation.
So, do you really think what you are doing right now is fully decent?
Yes, I say it's really decent.
Now, the personal upkeep of the Pale Moth has increased by another 25% and will cost Russians 31 billion. And the expenses for the entire administration will exceed 80 billion. For comparison, the budget of the entire Ryazan region is 97 billion.
What the fuck? How is that even possible?
In the Ryazan region, that money has to adequately cover public transportation, local schools, essential hospitals, vital utilities, necessary road repairs, crucial pensions and benefits, and even extra payments to orcs for signing contracts, for crying out loud. And what is that money spent on in Putin's administration?
I really don't know.
Just Peskov's mustache-comb collection alone would cost several billion. The so-called Russian elite is partying like it's their last time. These ghouls can sense that their adventure of attacking Ukraine won't end well for them. That's why they're living it up, as they say, one last hurrah before heading to hell.
What are you thinking about, Vladimir Vladimirovich?
While the people of Ryazan are finishing their last kulebiaka without salt, Putin is tormented by a tough choice. Should he wear a $13,000 jacket or $40? Zero worth of NATO green shoes to the rally with the commoners? He chose the jacket. So there's Putin in a Loropiana coat worth $13,000, telling the Z-branded population about the need to endure.
There's simply no money. So we'll find the money, and we'll outdo the foreigners.
These clothes are bought with the state budget because Putin himself claims he doesn't even use his own official salary, which is quite remarkable.
I honestly do not know Sechin's exact salary. Honestly, I don't even, they just simply bring it to me, I stack it all up and then send it directly to the account. I don't even bother to count it at all.
And yet, with his salary, Putin has managed to accumulate 19 mansions, 58 private planes and helicopters, and an entire fleet of luxury yachts. Although, according to his declaration, he only owns an old Niva.
Cursed be the very day I got behind the wheel of this incredibly loud vacuum cleaner!
By various estimates, Putin is the richest person on the planet. But unlike other billionaires, playboys and philanthropists, he hasn't invented or created anything. He just got lucky to be in charge of such an amorphous and spineless people.
Mr. President, please help us now. Please.
Why have Putin's expenses increased by exactly 25%? Perhaps this is the real level of inflation in Russia, not the one touted by the half-dead central bank.
Most key indicators of persistent inflation continue to remain consistently in the 6 to 8% range currently.
Let this loyal rabble tighten their belts until their very eyes pop out. But His Kremlin Imperial Highness doesn't want to limit himself at all the more so since the serfs stay completely silent and do not protest at all, ever. Show them some greatness on TV and that's it. They're ready for the meat grinder assault.
Vladimirovich Putin, please take me to war with you now. Indeed.
And it would be one thing if Russians only had to feed one greedy pale mouth. But Putin has a whole cohort of freeloaders. Just look at Alina Red Ribbon Kabaeva alone. And let me tell you, she costs as much as Stavropol.
That's really a fact.
It's quite hard for him, probably because I'm so very famous, maybe.
Alinka, born of the Kremlin, mother of the dragon's children, has never done any business. She's just a simple housewife who somehow ended up with real estate worth several billion. How she manages to be a housewife in all those houses and apartments at once remains a mystery. Maybe she does it in a split.
Now it's time for some truly crafty handiwork.
And Kabaeva also loved spending time on the yacht Scheherazade, which is worth $700 million. Now we know what Putin calls Alina under the covers. Apparently, he considers himself a padishah.
But I can see you quite well, even without any special equipment.
What does the padishah have besides Scheherazade? Right, vizier. And this vizier costs even more. Kadyrov has attached himself to Russia's budget like a tick to a stray dog. He doesn't just bathe in luxury, he literally dissolves in it.
You can't ask you anything like where the money comes from. You say it's from Allah?
Then prove it's not from Allah.
Meanwhile, ordinary Russian citizens are drowning in their own squalor and dreaming of readily available cheap eggs and almost fresh, affordable sausage.
The entire country, we have many expired products available from the local store to the bustling market, and almost all the pensioners go to the market specifically for these particular products.
Pensioners often go to the Tatemov market for expired products at very low prices.
I buy them because I'm a labor veteran, and my pension is $14,600. Shame on our government for this.
And Putin also has these women. I mean his official, biological daughters. So, you simpletons, let's tighten our belts even more. These are two such vacuum cleaners that it's practically impossible to gauge their appetites.
Probably a little less than we had originally hoped for. That's probably how I would put it.
These women are deeply entrenched in government contracts and have amassed multi-billion-dollar fortunes. The younger one, Ekaterina Tikhonova, became a billionaire before she even turned 30. A prodigy, you might ask? An outstanding businesswoman or scientist? No, she's an acrobat and the daughter of a dictator.
At the present moment, there isn't nearly enough investment in this particular field, and what's truly lacking is a robust mechanism that would effectively support such crucial investments.
The elder Putin daughter, Vorontsova, works right under the moth's wing. She's Putin's advisor on genetics. Rumor has it, she's working on creating genetically modified children, that is, obedient slaves for daddy. Apparently, Russia is already overflowing with GMO subjects.
If the Supreme Commander truly calls upon us to the final decisive battle, then Uncle Hova, we are absolutely with you.
Putin and his entire inner circle are just a bunch of wealthy billionaires feasting during this terrible plague. Russia is rotting and falling apart while they live it up and lavishly throw money around on those despised Western trinkets.
I don't really know, perhaps it's an American-made phone or a German-engineered car or something else entirely along those very same lines, you know, that kind of particular thing. And I reply, I understand, it's actually very simple. After all, we don't really know maybe the creators of these American phones, the inventors of these technologies, or the makers of these cars, or the creators. Maybe they were inspired by the works of Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky when they designed this phone, or perhaps by the works of Dostoevsky or Bulgakov, who are famous all over the world. Maybe without these works, these technologies wouldn't exist at all.
All these excuses are really just for the truly poor and the genuinely stupid.
I really don't quite get it.
But sooner or later, in any society, even one as downtrodden and oppressed as Russia, there inevitably comes a need to say to the elites, what was yours is now ours. And the people will go and loot, taking back what belongs to them. The sooner the better.
I would like to remind you that this video is created for entertainment purposes and contains elements of satire and irony. All facts and events are presented in a hyperbolized or exaggerated form to convey a comedic or dramatic effect. Our goal is not to mislead, but to highlight humor. Please take it with a smile.